Dead Reckoning is the 11th Sookie Stackhouse novel, and in Dead Reckoning, Sookie finds out how she came to be much more clearly than ever before. She knew she was part fairy. She knew that fairy part came from her grandmother's liaison with a full-blooded fairy. But in this book, she finds out more about what happened, and she finds a legacy from her grandmother that she never expected. I loved it instantly. It was a creamy light green trimmed in gold. It was like one of the snuff boxes at the antique store. But nothing in Splendide had been this beautiful. I could see no catch, no hinge, nothing. It didn't pop open when I gently pressed and twisted the lid. And there was definitely a lid trimmed in gold. The round box wasn't ready to yield its secret. My head was crowded with thoughts. Gran had obviously been very emotional when she wrote the accompanying letter. If our godfather had given Gran more information about this gift, either she'd neglected to mention it or she simply hadn't remembered it. I wondered when she'd forced herself to set down this confession. Obviously, it had been written after my Aunt Linda died, which had happened when Gran was in her 70s. My birth grandfather's friend. I was pretty sure I recognized the description. Surely the godfather was Mr. Cataliades, demon lawyer. I knew it must have cost her plenty to say, on paper, that she'd had sex with someone other than her husband. My grandmother had been a strong woman and a devout Christian. Such an admission must have haunted her. The cluvial door was about the size of 2 stacked Oreo cookies. I rubbed it against my cheek and felt like purring. Did you have to have a magic word to open it? Abracadabra, I said. Please and thank you. Nope, didn't work, plus I felt like an idiot. Open sesame, I whispered. Presto changeo. Nope. But thinking of magic gave me an idea. I emailed Amelia. It was a difficult message to phrase. I know email isn't totally secure, but I also had no reason to think anyone considered my few messages important. I wrote, I hate to ask, but besides doing that research on the blood bond for me, can you find out something about a Faye thing? Initials CD. That was as subtle as I could get. Then I returned to my admiration of the cluvial door. Did you have to be a pure fairy to open it? No, that couldn't be the case. It had been a gift to my grandmother, presumably to use in case of dire need, and she'd been completely human. Maybe if she'd had time to fetch the cluvial door, she could have saved her own life. And with that thought, I'd had enough. Dead Reckoning is an essential part of Sookie's story. She understands more about who she is. She understands more about who is after the valuable objects she now owns. And she understands more about a big secret that Eric and Pam are sharing.